Hey guys, Neobosh here. The CTE is back. It is available for pre-rolled right now, no matter what platform you play on. And if you're in the US, the CTE will be open tonight, November 6th at 7 p.m. Pacific. If you're in the EU, it will be open tonight, November 6th at 7:30 CET. Sorry. The maps they have for us are Akibaba and Cape Helles. It's session 2 on those maps. They've already done these ones. They made some changes based on the feedback, and they want to see what the community thinks about them now. And some other stuff they're looking for feedback on is the Turning Tide weapons. They ask for feedback on everything except audio. There are a couple new specializations available for all kits. The Pilot and Tinker class can now select generic specializations. Service assignments will be visible on the front end, and they will already be unlocked, so you don't need to progress them in the CTE to test these out. But the one that they ask that you don't use is the armor transfer specialization for assaults. It's still a work in progress. This CTE update, it has a number of technical changes, tweaking sounds, tweaking animations, that kind of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to getting on this tonight and testing it out. I somewhat wish that you could still play the CTE whenever you wanted, but I do understand what they're trying to do here. I mean, we all remember the problems I had with the Zara DLC release, when they couldn't stress test the servers to make sure everything worked fine. So DICE's solution is now, we play CTE at this time for a few hours, and if you want to play, this is when it's got to be. Hopefully they'll get enough players to adequately test things. And if the end result is the final product will be better than it was for the Zara release in terms of game breaking, then I welcome the change, despite some frustrations with it. These specializations are mostly good, I think. Particularly good, I think, are the medic and support. They have kind of a twin ability where you don't need to throw down your med kits or ammo kits to heal or resupply nearby enemies. And that effect will be blocked by suppression. But I mean, we all know how hard it is sometimes to get a resupply or a heal when we really need one. So if you're just near a medic or support who's running that ability, then you will get what you need out of it. So I think that's a good change. There's a couple other good changes, like increased walking speed and explosive resistance when using the wrench. So if you're repairing a tank, all those explosions that always kill you, you'll be able to resist them a bit more. I think that's a good change. There's some, though, that I think maybe are going the opposite direction of where Battlefield should be headed. And I'm speaking specifically of the new scout specializations. Ripple. Headshots with rifles will reveal nearby enemies, and Deft Recon periodically reveal nearby enemies on the minimap. My problem with both of these specializations is that they penalize a player who's not necessarily making any mistakes himself. I can be minding my own business, and then a squad mate spawns on me. He runs out into the open like an idiot. He gets headshot by a scout who was previously unaware of my presence, and now anyone around me can see me on the minimap, whereas I may have been working an ambush until this squad mate ran out and gave away our position. The other ability is the same thing. I mean, you could be sitting there, not making any sound, not making any movements, not spotted, not detected by any enemy in any way, and yet with this specialization you will periodically show up on the minimap, even though you've made no mistakes. And that's really my biggest gripe, is that the game isn't going to be decided by the mistakes that you are making. It's going to be decided by a specialization, and I don't think that's the way that the game should be heading. So those are my main critiques of the specializations they're bringing in. Everything else, I think for the most part, is good. I don't think it's game breaking. I don't think it's a problem. Like those specializations, I honestly think there are problems with those. I think that's the wrong direction for the game to go. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely off base, and you think these are absolutely required in the game. So, I mean, if you have a different opinion, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. The November update is coming up, and with this update, one of the biggest changes is that Novel Nights, the game's first night map, part of the They Shall Not Pass DLC release, is going to be made available to all players. Now, as a Premium Pass owner, at first I was unsure about how I felt about this, given that I've paid for these maps, and now they're being given away for free. However, on the other hand, it will put more maps into the base game, more maps for more players to play on. And at the end of the day, there is no game if there's no other players. So, while I still have some reservations about free content that some players have paid for, I think overall it will be better for the community to have these maps available to everybody. And I don't know if DICE is thinking of heading this direction with all the maps eventually, but if they do that, I think a good compromise would be to keep the weapons that were part of the DLC release unlock only if you are a Premium Pass member.
Oh, he's in the fortress gun.
The maps are available to everyone. That way, everyone in the community can keep playing the game. They can keep playing on all the maps, but there is still a reward if you paid the money to get the Premium Pass and support DICE. Novel Nights will obviously not be the only change coming to Battlefield in the November update. Among the other changes listed are further fixes to help eliminate the server lag issue that's plagued the game since the Czar release, as well as changes that came from the October update, which made spotting and soldier identification at distance rather difficult. If you haven't experienced that or know what I'm talking about, it has become significantly more difficult to determine if a soldier in the distance is friendly or foe, and the spotting system has been somewhat unreliable, so that makes it even more difficult to determine who's who. But after the November update goes live, I will do a full video dedicated to all the changes that are coming to it. And one final bit of Battlefield 1 news. The game's going to get a new melee weapon free to all players. For those who aren't aware, EA and DICE are releasing Star Wars Battlefront 2 November 14th or 17th, depending on the version. And to celebrate that, they are issuing a battle pack to any Battlefield 1 players who log in after November 8th. Inside this battle pack will be the Tokyo War melee weapon, which is a historic weapon used on World War I battlefields in PG. That's about it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your continued support. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Click subscribe if you want to stay up to date on current content. And I will see you guys on the battlefield.